Welcome dear students. In the current session, I would talk about the shift from Middle English to the Modern English. I would particularly focus on the years from 1500 to 1650. Well, the objective of the session is that by the end of the session, you understand what was the nature of the shift that took place from the Middle English to the Modern English period. When we talk of the shift from Middle English to Modern English, the most significant feature that I would like to stress upon is the vowel. The vowel changes that took place in Modern English are important for the learners of history of English language. We are talking about the lengthening of vowels. Almost all Middle English long vowels underwent extensive alteration during the course of time. Short vowels in accented syllables remained, however, comparatively very stable during this time period. If we compare Chaucer's pronunciation with that of ours, we would notice that there were two important happenings with reference to the vowel sounds. One I have pointed out here, and the other is of this one, a and a. These were the two sounds that we would talk about. By Shakespeare's times, that is at the close of, 16th century. Now, this is the time when, English is shifting from the Middle English period to the Modern English period. In a way, you can call the 16th century time the early times of the beginning of Modern English. So, at this time, Chaucer's this sound, had become this one, a, from a to a. So, like cat, a, at, cat, thanks, flax. So, this was the change that took place. Well, in some cases, this Middle English sign represented an Old English apple, at, back. And the new pronunciation actually, in a way, is a return back, to Old English. So, what was happening in the process of the development of language from Old English going on to Middle English, and when from Middle English moving on to the next phase, that is the Modern English, actually it was not directly the movement forward, rather it was stepping back. It was going back in certain cases. It is the usual pronunciation in America now, and a considerable part of southern England also uses it today. The change that this particular sound underwent was, what is known as unrounding. Now, what is unrounding? If you notice, in Chaucer's pronunciation, this vowel was like, this vowel, as I have talked about, this vowel was pronounced as oo, full, ul, oo. This is how it was pronounced. By the 16th century, it seems to have become the, in most words, a sound that we have, not oo, rather a. For example, at, a, cut, sun, love. So everywhere it is pronounced here. Cut, but, sun. Instead of, rounding, it is unrounded. It goes back. It is not now, in this shape. It is going straight. Notice your movement of the tongue as you pronounce it. Cut. So this is with an Anglo-Norman spelling of this one shifting to this one. So far as the short vowels are concerned, it is clear that a person today would have, very little difficulty in understanding the pronunciation of these short vowels because they mainly remained stable and there were not much change in them. I hope this understanding of the changes in the nature of the vowel sounds during the 1500 to 1650 times would give you an understanding of how English language was on its way of development.